Hi, my name is Alouette, also known as my artist name Alarke, and today we're going to talk about breath support for singing. Now, what is breath support? So when we're breathing for singing, there are a lot of different muscles that are working in coordination to produce a nice tone. And our job as singers is to regulate the exhalation of air to support the tone. So when we breathe for singing, we want to make sure that we take a nice, low, deep breath. So what that feels like is if you put your hands on your rib cage, fingers facing forward, thumbs in the back, and they're going to be on your lowermost ribs, not your waist, but the ribs. I'm going to sit or stand like we have a string pulling us from the back of our head, so our skeleton is aligned. And this actually is a good exercise when you're sitting down because you can feel it a little bit more. So we're going to breathe low and deep. And then your breath is going to fill up like a sandbag. The chest is going to rise a little bit, the sternum, as a natural result, but it's not going to be forced up or anything like that. The shoulders are going to remain nice and relaxed and down. So we're going to breathe in, and when we sing, we essentially hold this position and we maintain a buoyant feeling in this inner tube around us. Now, we sing on an exhalation, and naturally the lungs are going to move back to their resting position, but our job is to keep it up as much as possible. Now, we want to make sure that we're not taking shallow breaths in the shoulders. The shoulders don't need to move. Now, one common mistake that some singers might make is that they might breathe too big, thinking they have to tank up. But you notice that if you do that type of breath, there's a lot of tension, and singing needs to be natural. So we don't need to take more air than is necessary. So we're going to breathe in, and we're going to sing on this suspended feeling and sing out on the tone. Now, one thing that you can do to make sure that you don't take more air than necessary is to think about the length of your phrase that you're going to sing. So let's say your phrase is 4 bars, and I'm making this up, but if we're like, ah, and let's say that's 4 bars long, you're going to practice beforehand taking a breath that's a little bit longer than that phrase, so that we don't run out of air on the end of that phrase and clamp in the throat to try to push it out, or clamp in the abs to push it out. Never want to put pressure in the abs. So you're going to think that you have more air than necessary. So that way you die a noble death at the end of your phrase. We want to make sure that the back is nice, low, feeling expanded and grounded. And actually, the higher that we sing, it's contrary motion. The lower that we feel rooted down and deep at the base of the spine. And we also know that if our tone is a little bit breathy, we're pushing too much air through the vocal cords. So it's actually a very light amount of air that's passing through the vocal cords. So I said that one mistake that singers might make is that they might tank up and have too much breath, and then they get a little stiff and it's tense and doesn't allow us to move freely through our tone. Another mistake that some singers might make is that they might push out too much air. That's through contracting the abs and pushing it out. Instead, we want to feel down, strong, grounded, and maintaining this buoyant sensation. Another thing that we don't want to do is breathe in, hold back the air, and then exhale on the tone. It's a nice, even flow of the breath in and out. When we're singing on a tone, it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Which way did it go? It went this way. So the air is coming out, but we also have this sensation that we're drinking in the sound. Here's another exercise that you can do to get that sensation of that lifted, open feeling in the body. So let's pretend you're in a class and you want to be called on and you really want it badly. So you're like, me, 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 me. So if you stretch your arm up and you feel this nice stretch on the side of your body, hold that up and really stretch as much as you can. Breathe into your side there. Feel that openness. Maybe breathe in for 10 seconds there, okay? 1, 2. And keep a nice relaxed breath. Okay, that's 10. So you're going to do that on the other side as well. Another exercise that you can do to relax the neck and everything happening in this area. Just put one hand over your head. Let the shoulder drop as opposed to pulling your head. Just loosens you up in your head. Nice and relaxed. When everything is coordinated in the body, singing kind of feels like we're doing like a deep belly laugh, like ha 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 ha. So you can see what that sensation feels like. I like putting one hand on the lowermost ribs, fingers in the front, thumb on the back. Again, this is on your ribs where the bones are and not the waist. So you can really feel the lungs expanding. And you put one hand right below where those ribs are, like where the stomach is. And if you laugh, ha 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 ha, you'll feel a little bounce. Now, there's a vocal exercise, the staccato, where you're singing a vowel or an open sound on that ha 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 ha. Now, this is the perfect amount of exhalation of air that you need for your tone. Now, another exercise that you can do is hissing. So if you hiss like a snake, and it's nice and concentrated between your middle top teeth, it's not spread, shh, but very focused. And it's right above where those top teeth are, where your hard palate, the roof of your mouth, comes down into the teeth. You're going to put it right above the teeth. Okay, so we're going to breathe in for a count of 4. We're going to stay up and lift it. Again, not tense, but full. And we're going to suspend. We're going to hold the breath, but we're very conscious of the words that we use. Holding might imply tension. We don't want any of that. Just relax, maintaining that lifted, buoyant feeling. And then now we're going to start hissing out on a count of 8. So you'll see first that you don't need too much air for a phrase or a hiss that lasts 8 counts. So let's do that together. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, suspend, 2, 3, 4, and hiss. So you want to have all of your air gone by those counts. And that one I did, and I didn't take in that much air, and I also made sure I had a steady stream of air going out. Now I never want to like push too much air out at the first part of the exhalation. Nice and steady. It requires planning ahead. So now let's breathe in for 4, suspend for 4, and let's hiss for a count of 16. So you might need a slightly bigger amount of breath that you breathe in. And also, we're going to regulate the exhalation and be a little bit lighter with it, okay? So let's go. Breathe in. Suspend, 2, 3, 4, and hiss. How'd you do? Did you have all of your air gone by 16? Did you have a lot of air left over? Were you trying to fight to the end? I encourage you to keep working on this exercise until it's very even throughout with your hiss. All right, now let's do a little challenge, and we're going to inhale for 4, suspend for 4, and let's hiss for 32. So again, the onset of the sound is the primary area where you can lose a lot of air. So make sure you're not tss. It's very smooth. Tss. Okay, let's do this. 2, 3, 4, suspend, 2, 3, 4, and hiss. How'd you do with 32? Did you have extra air left over? Not enough? I encourage you to keep working on these exercises. Now, these apply to the phrases of your songs, because just like if you have an 8-count hiss, you might have a short phrase. You don't need too much air. If you have a long phrase, or especially a phrase with high notes, you're going to really need to bank your air and your breath so that you can use that to support your phrase. And that's breath support in a nutshell. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I release videos once a week on singing and songwriting tips, also artistry and inspiration. And if you want even more, share this with your friends and head over to setyourlifetomusic.com and get on my email list. And there I share more personal insights only from that source. So head on over and sign up, and see you soon. Thanks. Bye.